So usually meditation retreats are 10-day silent meditation retreats. I will drop a link if you're interested in that. But today, when my memory is still fresh, I wanted to share about the recent retreat I went with my husband. It's very short. It's at the Bhavana Society. It's Brahma-Vihara retreat. For those of you who don't know what that is, I will also drop a link about that particular retreat. The interesting thing about this short retreat is that's the first retreat my husband went with me, and it's also my first short retreat. I was so curious because usually maybe on the third day I can go pretty deep or whatever, so I don't know how much a 3-day short retreat can do to the mind. And also my husband, I want to give you a little bit of context. He's not spiritual and he's not a meditator at all, like a very left brain oriented hardcore computer scientist. I hope you have a picture of that, like very logical thinking, that type of person, right? He doesn't meditate. He just supports me by buying these things to me because I do the work. He gets the benefits already. So anyway, he's super supportive of me, but he doesn't practice, like no prior experience at all, okay? So I was so curious, would he be turned off by this Buddhism retreat, right? Because in a way, people may think this is a religious thing or whatever, right? And it's not. He actually loved everything that was taught there, which we call the Dharma. It's based on what the Buddha is teaching. I was so surprised about how well he did because he also has ADHD, but he was able to sit and do the mindful walking meditation for a long time. It was really, really nice. First of all, maybe let me share the structure of a short retreat. So you go on a Thursday, you check in, and at night there's a talk and a meditation. I think what worked really well is, you go to a retreat and there are monks and they're chanting, and there's a lot of very devoted people who are like, paying respect, like always bowing on the floor and stuff. If you're new to all of this, you're like, I feel I don't belong here or whatever, right? It's so religious, but it's really not. People are just doing that out of a good heart to show huge respect because they saw the impact it has on their lives. So I think this Center Bhavana Society did a very good thing. In the very, very first talk, they opened by saying, this is not a religion. I really don't care. Said by a very senior monk, right? And he said, I'm not here to convince you or to convert you. I'm just here to share the Dhamma and the instructions for meditation and see it for yourself to see if it works, which, by the way, is also the Buddha's teaching. Somehow humans made it a kind of like a religion type of thing, but the Buddha always said, don't take my words for it. This is just an open invitation for happiness, and come see it for yourself to see if it works. He also emphasized that you must analyze and have a healthy critical thinking to see if it works for you. Do not take anything for granted or at its face value. So I thought that was a very good opening to open people's mind to say, okay, we're just here to observe and see, like a scientist for an experiment. They're not pushing any beliefs on you, right? You don't need to believe in rebirth, reincarnation, karma, the cosmology, or whatever. It's just a simple self-help book the Buddha was teaching. These 4 noble truths, right? There is suffering in life that we all know. We all learned this. And there are reasons for that. Second noble truth, there's cause and condition that lead to the suffering, right? And we all know that there's nothing religious about it, right? And the third is, but wait, there is a way out. There's a way out of the suffering to happiness. That's the third noble truth. Again, what's religious about it? And the fourth is, here's the way, which is Magga in Pali. The Buddha shares the path of how to achieve this out of suffering and happiness. So it's just a self-help manual for happiness. Then he gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. And you should take what works for you and just see it for yourself. Don't treat it as a religion. You don't have to do any of these things just for the sake of doing it. Try different methods. If it makes you happier, then keep doing it. If it doesn't, then maybe try something else, right? So it's that simple. But anyway, I like that opening. And then it's a meditation at night. So everybody was in the meditation hall. Although at that time, my husband didn't know the instructions, so he doesn't really know what to do. But they did mention you can do mindful walking, even mindful standing. Those are all valid postures for meditation. You don't have to sit. They normalized these different postures. So in the meditation hall, instead of sitting, you will see people standing, because some people really cannot deal with their physical pain, and they find other postures easier to calm their mind. And there's also people do walking meditation in the meditation hall already. So it's all normalized. You see all these postures and you feel totally okay to do different ones. So my husband was just doing some walking, although no detailed instructions were given on the first day yet. But the second day, usually you get up at 5:30. Sorry, you meet there at 5:30, and then you just start the meditation immediately. And I think there's some magic in the quietness. My husband said even just going there as an opportunity to be in the quiet without his phone and totally unplug from work for 3 days, even that alone, he already sees benefits. I think that's why he really likes it, and it made his mind clear. He said, oh, I'm so clear on what I should do on Monday, because the retreat is Thursday to Sunday, so he sees tangible benefits already. It's so difficult to find that quietness in modern world if you don't go to a forest. I just love that so much. The complete quietness, it's so magical. I guess that's why it's okay that instructions were not even given at this point yet. Just 5:30 at the meditation hall, just everybody's quiet. That's enough. Then it's breakfast, and then you do some yogi jobs, which is people are assigned some chores. You're supposed to do it with loving kindness, which is a way of express your generosity, right? These all are very applied practice, such as generosity. So it's not just sitting and still be a stingy person. You're not gonna be happy that way. So anyway, they want you to really integrate into your daily life. So then there's that chore part with loving kindness and generosity. And then after that, it's a morning talk at 9 by Bhante Ji, which is the most senior monk who's already 98 years old. Where at 9, you meditate first, then he gives a talk, which is very good because meditation gives you calmness and you are able to be more open in your mind to receive the teachings. And then it's lunch at 11. There is some chanting going on for lunch as well, and Bhante S sings really well. For the lunch chanting, it's interesting to observe, but it's all in Pali. If you don't know that, they give you this little booklet. You can just try to sound it out by singing along. If not, just be there, just enjoy the sound. It's okay. And after lunch, there's also a chore cleaning period, like in the morning. So on Friday, then I believe that was the mindful walking session. So that's when the instructions are given. The walking meditation is my husband's favorite because he's never done this meditation before and he cannot sit for very long without physical pain, but he can do very well walking meditation to be mindful, to focus on the bodily sensations and just awareness. He really loves that. And it's a group session. After the instructions, it's an hour. So everybody is practicing the walking meditation. Then everybody know how to do walking, and that is offered whenever you want to do walking. You can do that to substitute the sitting meditation. And then it's a yoga session, which is very nice, For short retreat, if you don't go very deep, and it helps you to calm your mind and stretch your body, it helps with your sitting. After the yoga session, there is an afternoon talk by Bhante S, which is the second senior monk. It will be a talk on, I think the first talk was on compassion and things like that fits the theme of the retreat. Each short retreat has its own theme, and this one is Brahma Vihara, so it was about compassion and loving kindness. I love his talks because it's He's very practical and he's super funny. He gives many practical examples, like you may even want to change people's mind, but you can never change people's mind. It's impossible, especially after you experience this. You're like, everybody should do this, but no, just fundamentally you cannot change people's mind. So that gives you practical tips about what to do or not to do after the retreat. He also talks about, say, on Monday, the retreat ends on Sunday and everybody is loving and kind, but then you go to work on Monday and your boss is not practicing loving kindness and everything is ruined, blah, blah, blah. So he addresses all these very practical challenges in our real life after the retreat. It's a very good, many practical tips. I find it useful. And then after the yoga session, there's also Q&A. The Q&A is also conducted by Bhante S. The Q&A is anonymous. You can just write your questions and drop it in a box. It could be related to the afternoon talk he gives, or related to your practice, or literally anything goes. I even asked about how do you explain dependent origination to beginners briefly. Some people were even asking about, oh, my spouse is a control freak. What do I do? Anyway, of course, some people ask about the practice and the talks too. Anything goes. And he answers all the questions, which is also very helpful because many practical tips and the real life examples and the challenges that he will share with you to prepare you for off retreat when you're not surrounded by always loving and kind people, right? That's Friday. Then Saturday, same structure. In the morning, 5:30 meditation, then breakfast, then generosity chore, then morning talk, then lunch, then afternoon cleaning. Oh, then we had applying Mettā session. So instead of a mindful work session, it was application of Mettā, loving kindness, and we were all doing the collecting garbage along the road as a group generosity thing, and that's the time you're actually allowed to talk. So otherwise, it's a complete silent retreat, no talking, no phone, and no nothing. And that's when you can, talk to your peers and by collecting the garbage, whatever you share, a trash bag, whatever, just do the, something good for the community. And you come back, and then there's afternoon talk again by Bhante S. Centered around this Brahma theme, and then another yoga session, and then the Q&A again. Then that's a Saturday. So basically you go there Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, 4 days, and then last day Sunday, same structure in the morning, but the morning talk became, instead of the talk by Bhante S., the most senior 98-year-old monk, it was done by Bhante S., who is giving you lots of practical tips about what to do after the retreat when, this loving kindness power starts to wear off, and, all these things. And again, tell you should not try to convert anyone or whatever, because you cannot change people's mind. That was the structure of the retreat that I find very good, actually. And my mindfulness became pretty sharp during the retreat and afterwards as well, which I did not expect for a very short retreat. So anyway, I highly recommend it. But if you have time, the long retreat will go much deeper into your practice, and you may see more tangible benefits throughout a longer retreat. One way you could measure the progress is to see how much faith you have in this. So this, again, I don't want this to sound like any religious thing. It's not a religion. The faith is a natural process. You can only have faith when you see it with your own eyes and your own experience to believe it, right? So it's like, I believe this is red because I saw it with my own experience, instead of just hearing people talk about certain things. That's blind faith. So this real faith could be one way to measure your progress, because that indicates how much you have really seen in your own experience, because that generates faith. And if it wears off, maybe another retreat would help, or whatever it is, you can try different methods to see when you no longer have faith, usually you will see more suffering. It goes hand in hand in your own life. And then when there's more suffering happening, automatically, naturally, it triggers more motivation to start learning about the teaching again and meditate. It's a very positive cycle, actually. Then you learn more and you meditate more, then you have more faith and you are happier, and that just strengthens your faith to keep going on this path, to know this is really the path I want to walk. Ding, 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 ding. Very beautiful, everything is great until something slaps at your face and you're suffering again. That's probably due to the lack of practice and like to that. And then you remembered the time when you were really practicing all these teachings, how happy you were. Now you know that as a reference point, you know it's possible. Then when you're suffering so much, that will again trigger motivation to learn more about the teachings and apply it and practice and meditate, and you're happy again. It goes through this over and over again until you're disenchanted. But that's a story for another time. Here we're talking about beginner-friendly content, so we'll leave that for some other time, maybe even at the Happiness Buffet podcast. But anyway, so I really hope you have the chance to go to a retreat just to see for yourself. I'm also applying the teaching. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to convince you or convert you or anything, simply sharing my experience. But just by seeing how my husband can get so much out of it as someone with zero experience, I was even thinking it might feel too religious for him because there's rituals of chanting and whatever. But no, and he actually told me he liked everything he heard there. So I highly encourage people just to be open-minded and see it for yourself. If you are seeking for happiness, if you are not, the whole teaching is about the way out of suffering. If you're not, then you're fine. So just to enjoy the meditation, whatever, even maybe you don't even have a goal, whatever it is, just want to chill here, that's fine too. Because if you are not suffering, that does not trigger a motivation to find out these teachings. That is totally valid and also a natural process. So just see it's impersonal, has nothing to do with you, right? All these faces. But anyway, I wish you happy and I wish you enjoy these meditations, and let me know which one you like more or which one you hate the most. We can adjust if there's a season 2. But anyway, what's there to lose? There's nothing to lose just by practicing all these great qualities of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, right? That's what the world needs, even not for yourself, just for people around you or for the world. We could all use more of this, positivity. All right. I guess that's all for today. I will just end the live stream today. And for tomorrow is our finale. If you find something useful out of the video, I'm so happy for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype. It will really help me a lot to create more content like this. See you next time.